Hi everyone, this is Merve. Today I have my very first guest, Lindsay Müller, here joining me. Lindsay and I met through my kids' yoga and mindfulness brand Monkinya. I'm so grateful for social media for helping me meet like minded people from all over the world who share the same passions with me. So, Lindsay is one of them for me. Lindsay, you really inspire me a lot, and I really want to know what simple living and slow living means for you and how you experience it in your life. But before I move into that part, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself, please.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be the first guest. I'm so honored. And I'm just so inspired by you. Like, from the very first moment that I opened your Instagram account, I was just like, I love this person. This person is amazing. I love what you create. I have your mandalas like up on my wall. I love coloring them. I'm so grateful that you exist, and all of the things that you're creating are just so wonderful. I completely agree with you about, connecting with people on Instagram. Like, that's the best part, is like finding other people that are just like you, or, that have a lot of similar ideas. So yeah, my name is Lindsay Müller, and I am a children's folk singer-songwriter, among other things. I'm a mom to two boys who are 5 and 7, and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living in Brazil for the last 5 years. My husband is Brazilian, and that's why we live here. And he's my best friend, and we also do a lot of musical work together in various projects. So yeah, that's me. I'm also really obsessed with self-love and positive affirmations and gratitude, and all the kinds of things that you are into as well. So yeah, that's me.
How has this move from Canada to Brazil been for you?
It's been really good. I actually feel like it has transformed me as a person. I think that just happens automatically when you move to another country and you spend a lot of time there. You start to meet different people that have different ideas, and you see the world in a different way, and yourself in a different way. And it's been I had been here a couple of times before, so I kind of knew what I was getting into in terms of like language barriers, culture shock. I kind of went through that in one of my visits. So when I moved here, I knew, okay, I know what to do. I need to like make friends, and I need to, start learning the language, and just know that it's going to be hard sometimes. And yeah, I learned the language and made friends, and I just love living here. I don't want to go anywhere else right now. I feel like this is home right now. And
So you mentioned you're a children's songwriter and singer. I wonder how it started. Did you always work and create for children, or is it something that happened after you became a mom?
I've always worked with children in music, in different ways, at camps, at schools, but I didn't ever think about writing songs for kids until I had my own kids, for sure. And it was even a few years, like when they were like 2 and 4, that I kind of started. And it all started because I wanted to record an album of children's songs, like not my own, just songs that I sing with my kids and that my parents sang with me and that I love. And then as I was in that process of recording the album, I wrote 2 songs, and it kind of just happened accidentally, but one of them was the You Are Amazing song, which is definitely my most popular, well-known song. And it happened because I wanted a way for myself to remember to speak positive affirmations to my kids on a regular basis, because like I know how impactful they can be and how they really changed my life. And but as a mom, I was feeling just stressed a lot of the time, and it's hard to remember to say positive things sometimes when you're in that kind of stressful vibe. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to write down like one affirmation or one or two for every letter, and then that's going to be how I remember them. And then so I did that, and then I would say them to the kids when they were going to sleep. But then just a little tune developed and it turned into a song. And yeah, it's been really helpful for everyone, for them and for me.
Yeah, this is amazing. Like I also have your album, and whenever I play it in my kids' yoga classes, they love it. They just sing it, and I can see what a big difference it makes to hear these words and sing these words. So I can't imagine how happy you must be, like knowing your songs reach kids from all over the world. That must be an amazing feeling.
Like I never imagined that my music would be heard by people all over the world and that would touch people. Like I get messages almost every day about people who have heard your amazing song and have cried and yeah, it's incredible. And every time I'm just like, oh, yay, like I'm so glad that I was brave enough to put that out there because it's a very personal and kind of like not conventional song. I'm glad that it's connecting with so many people.
And not only children, I think we need that as well as adults. I come from a collectivistic culture, and it's not like people don't like when you say I love myself or I'm successful, I'm beautiful. People don't want to hear that, and people don't want to say it to themselves because we don't grow up with these thoughts and with this self-love, self-belief ideas in our minds. So I think it's really important we as adults use them as well.
And that song, as you know, the first verse is kind of a parent or an adult speaking to a child. You are amazing. I believe in you. And then the second verse, I switched around the affirmations into like I am.
Yeah.
I am amazing. I believe in myself. And like, wow, really every time I sing that, I'm like, pumping myself up. And especially now in like these trying times of COVID and stuff, like it's really good to do that, just give yourself some of that extra
Yeah, definitely.
self love and affirmation. It really helps.
So, speaking of COVID, how are you spending your days?
My life was not so different before. I mean, of course, there was more social activities. We love having people over. We love going out for coffee with friends and all that stuff. So I do miss that part a lot. But we do kind of homeschool our kids, or we do unschooling. So the kids were used to being at home all the time, anyways, and our family is just used to being together all the time. Um, I mean, not so much as now, but we already kind of had it figured out, like our family dynamic. But I'm spending a lot of time gardening, which is something that I really wanted to do before. I was always like in my yard and thinking, oh, I have this space. I would really like to grow some more vegetables, but I'd rather do this. I'd rather do music. I'd rather go out and hang out with my friends. But now that some of those things are temporarily taken away, I have more time to do those things. So I've been doing more gardening, which is great. And I've been trying to just make my living space more neat and clean and nice. Like I I got this macrame plant hanger. Like I just was like, how can I make my space beautiful for me? Like not for like other people because no one's coming over. Just for me, like so that I can walk into a space and be like, yeah, this feels good. Before I like didn't really care. I was like, as long as like I can sleep in my bed and like I'm not really a decoration kind of person. That kind of thing. Like I'm trying to focus more on just making things aesthetically pleasing for myself to enjoy. And putting little plants in my kitchen and things like that. And so yeah, I'm enjoying that. And of course, I'm still doing all my musical projects and taking care of the kids and all of my normal day-to-day things. So that's how I'm spending my time.
So it's safe to say it slowed you down in a way, right? You found time for the things you were postponing before, or you were saying, I'll do it later.
Exactly. And I'm grateful for that. That has been a blessing.
So I want to ask you my main question. What does slow and simple life mean to you and how you experience it?
I'm trying to stay present in as many moments as possible. And this is a daily battle for sure, but just kind of like taking a moment to be like, wow, I have a wonderful life. I'm so grateful for everything that I have. and just taking a moment to appreciate that, because so many days can go by where we don't realize how many blessings we really have in our lives. And yeah, so just taking those moments to be present, to be grateful, is really what slow and simple living means to me. Just taking joy in like the small things, like gardening, like that has brought me so much joy, just like working on growing new things and seeing them, sprout out of the ground. And it's such a simple but beautiful thing that you kind of help co-create, and of course this time of COVID it's definitely slowed us down. And before, we weren't a family that like rushed around a lot, but we did have things to do, performances and stuff, and there is a beauty to that, but there's also a beauty in just being really taking it really easy, and at the beginning of this whole period I kind of struggled with that, but I'm kind of learning to embrace it more. Not that I want it to go on forever, but I feel like very happy right now. I feel even happier than I have felt previously, being present and grateful is kind of my main answer for that question.
A lot of people think to be able to live a slow life, you need to make big changes in your life. If you work in a corporate job, you have to let go. If you're living in a big city, you should move to countryside. But I think it's more about that small, simple pleasures and simple joys of life. You don't have to create that like the perfect environment or perfect conditions. It's more about how you choose to experience life. For some, it can just be, spending time with your pets, and for someone, it can be cooking, and for you, like you mentioned, it's gardening. So I think it's different for everyone, but it's all about that simple joys of life.
Your cat reminded me too. I have a cat too, and we've had him for a year. And I love the moments where he comes and just jumps on my lap, and I just like when he jumps on my lap, I'm like, okay, I'm not moving until he gets off, because I just love like the feeling of him sitting on my lap and just petting him and just taking that moment to just sit and just not do anything else, And another example is just like sitting somewhere in your house without, your phone or anything, just to be, just be with yourself. And I mean, I struggle with that. I'm like everyone else. I'm constantly checking my phone, but I'm also aware, like, okay, I need to make space for times without it, put it away and just sit and enjoy everything going on. It's so good to just take those moments and be quiet and be still and listen to our inner self, or listen to spirit, listen to nature. That really helps. And it's such a simple, small thing, but I think that it really does affect our happiness and our mental health, because when we're scrolling on our phones, it's just like so much information. And it's kind of like an emotional roller coaster sometimes, you're like, oh, that's such a cute dog, ha ha ha. And then, oh, someone's mad about this, and you feel mad too. And then, oh, it's something else, and sometimes we don't realize how much that can really affect us. And so, yeah, I do try, and I remember just be like, okay, put that away and just be for myself.
We are so focused on doing things, and most of the time we just forget about being, just being. So I think that was a great reminder. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you. It was amazing talking to you, and thank you so much for sharing all these things with me.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you for all that you do. So grateful to you, and
Thank you.
Thank you.